Bright Insight. I'm a galactic astrologer and I wanted to talk to you today about some galactic alignments that are coming up, starting on the 9th of December and running for a 12-day period. Now, as the sun is moving through Sagittarius, it's going to come round and oppose a number of fixed stars in the Orion constellation. Now, the Orion constellation or star system is one of the most recognized in our skies. Most people sort of are familiar with the three stars in the belt of the giant. And, you know, if you're looking up, it's certainly very easy to spot. Now, this star system has got a number of fixed stars within it, and each star has its own energy. So it's a bit kind of remiss or negligent of me to try and sort of coin them all together, but that is what I'm going to do for the purpose of this video, because despite the fact that each star has a different energy and different associations, and when we're looking at it in a galactic chart, you know, there's different stars have different representations and different influences. As a whole sort of star system, if we sort of rope them all together, Orion is known for its history of having very strong duality and polarity consciousness. Now, it has got a very checkered history. It's suffered many wars. There's been a lot of domination, a lot of control. And Orion has been very much a place in the universe where souls have gone to experience separation, to experience duality, and to act out the controller-victim consciousness. It's been a place of war, of conflict, of disempowerment. It is said that those in control use technology and use their advanced abilities with technology to control the populace and to create a sort of shield or field around the planet, which meant that souls couldn't actually leave or ascend. They became trapped in the reincarnation cycle on Orion. And certainly, you know, there's been a lot of huge negativity associated with this star system. Now, what's interesting is that there are many souls here on Earth at this time who are basically playing out the karma or the stories that happened in Orion. It's believed that some souls actually did manage to escape the system or the matrix that had been created in Orion, and they came to Earth, followed by some of the more nefarious souls. And so there's a lot of karma. But I think as a collective, especially at this time, you know, it's not difficult to see how a lot of the Orion karma is playing out again, as it has done on many other different star systems. And there are many souls incarnated at this time on Earth who have got connections to the Orion system, who carry memories in their cellular structure, and who many are here to support and help humanity work through this time and sort of drive us or encourage us to come together more into more unity consciousness and move away from the duality and separation, because the Orions know how bad and how far it can go and what the results will be. So as the sun comes around to oppose many different stars in this system, and I will share a slide here with the dates of when those oppositions take place. The sun shines a light on these fixed stars. Now, it's interesting that the Orion stars are all in Gemini, which is the sign of duality, the sign of the twins, the sign of division, of choice. And yet, as the sun moves through Sagittarius, it's very much sort of asking us to rise our consciousness above the duality, to move away from the duality, to see what the potential is when we step into the higher versions of ourselves and come into more unity consciousness. And the fact that we have these oppositions, to me, is like when we have a full moon, the sun is shining a light on that the consciousness that the Orion stars hold or have held in their memory, to basically highlight to us what happened there. And I really do feel that as these activations take place, that we are going to have quite a big awakening of Orion starseeds, or souls with Orion consciousness and memories held within them over the next 12 days. So this is going to be supported by the fact that we've already had the Sun conjunct the Great Attractor earlier this week. We have got the Sun is going to conjunct the Galactic Centre on the 19th of December. And we also have this beautiful new moon in Sagittarius next week. There is a video coming out about that, but it is very much about all these really sort of higher vibration, higher frequency energies are very much drawing us up out of this duality consciousness, helping us or encouraging us to see the bigger picture, to see what is possible, to really embrace, you know, the faith and the belief that there is another way. And to take us into a higher perspective. But of course, to be able to do that and to move more towards the light, we have to be able to see the shadow and embrace it and understand that it does play a part and that it is a part of us. So while the sun shines a light on what we could consider or deem to be the shadow, the Orion shadow, it is also taking us towards the Orion light and the light of unity. So if you have anything in sort of the second half of Gemini, then you're likely to have some connections to Orion, and so many of us do in our charts. Having Orion connections often means that you are here to teach, you're certainly here to support the ascension, to help awaken, and many of us will have certain points and certain events, you know, situations almost designed or created to create awakening and to trigger memories, to help us sort of see what's really going on. And there can be a strong activist sort of streak, basically because the Orions did manage to overcome or to work through the duality and the separation, and they did move into a higher state of consciousness, and they are supported now in holding that. So they are now coming in to help us basically not necessarily replicate, but to achieve the same goal. They're very much here as well to help us to transmute the density, because it is by doing that, transmuting the density and the lower vibrations and sort of bringing the shadow to light, which then clears the energies and allows more light to flood in, which is ultimately the end goal. Now we are moving through an incredibly intense and powerful time at the moment. December is a month full of activations and galactic alignments with many different fixed stars, and I will be coming on to talk about more of them in the very near future, so please do, you know, come back and check the channel. But certainly this is all about helping us to unlock information and to get a different viewpoint ultimately on what is going on, so that we can sort of see how bad it can get, which then will hopefully trigger enough awareness within us to start to look at what can we do to change it. And certainly I watched another video earlier where we're very good at creating, we don't always do it consciously, but whenever we have a thought, we can create that reality. So we need to start shifting our thoughts onto a much more unified, peaceful outcome for our planet, rather than focusing on you know, the lower densities, which of course, you know, if you focus too much on the media and what's going on in our world, it can be very difficult to turn away and sort of bring in a higher perspective and more light and more higher consciousness. But that is exactly what we're here to do. So thank you very much for watching. if you have got any Orion connections or memories, you know, I'd love to hear. So please feel free to post, because it's interesting for everyone else to read about them as well. Obviously, I haven't gone into any detail in particular about the Orion sort of history, but there are lots of books out there. And I was reading The Prism of Lyra by Alyssa Holt. Remember if that, yeah, that's her name. I'll share the book anyway in the description. So that's got some quite interesting information, but obviously there's lots out there. As with everything, please use your discernment. You know, this may or may not resonate with you. It's just sharing my perspective, my opinion, and what's going on. But if you are seeking any sort of more information or support, or you'd like someone to look at your galactic chart to tell you if you have Orion connections, I do offer readings, and there's also lots of other galactic astrologer practitioners who have, like me, studied and certified with Julia Ballard, so you can find out more about them on the galacticastro.com, and my website is spiralbright.co.uk. So thank you very much for watching.